The first one is all about, here is a speed. Okay, so you might be wondering, what does that mean, right? Speed. I believe speed is a competitive advantage for any business, right? Full stop. So what does that mean is, you got to have that speed. So whether you are attracting the client, whether that maybe you're converting the client, or whether you are nurturing the client, you got to have the speed, the quick turnaround time. And obviously this, now, especially now, almost 5 years of thinking or exploring of innovations now have just done in last 5 months, as you would imagine. So the way how consumers are consuming the information, the customer behavior, customer experience is changing. So we got to find out the name of the game here is to have that speed, maintain that speed. Now, I love one of my good friend and a sales leader, Brad, who is also a mentor. He talks about 1-24-24. What does that mean? Is, obviously in attracting, when you attract the clients, when you get the lead generations, you got to have that, there is, if the leads comes up, whatever the channels you are using from, whether B2C or B2B, once the lead comes up, the problem also we found in day-to-day basis working with the business leaders is the conversion is the problem. What does that also mean is, we're getting back to 1-24 is a 1 hour. The response time, the principle here is 1 hour, getting back to them very quickly in an hour or less. And 24-24, sending the proposal. Proposal in less than 24 hours, or getting the closing the business in 24 hours. So 1-24-24. And don't get me wrong, so many of our clients and prospects, sometimes they just spend so much time in sitting down and writing the proposal. And sometimes I say, look, I'm not sure whether you are in a proposal business, because you're running the business here. Just get the ball rolling. You're here to create outcomes, not a proposal business. So sometimes just that conceptions, and the perception. So you got to change that. You got to maintain that speed. Now, I must also need to share something happened in last couple of months, especially in November. I was, in fact, I was like every one of you guys, like I also been most likely, love internet and buying from the internet, and just checking on the YouTube, and I saw something very customized, mobile cover, which is, the mobile cover. I liked it. It is, it is fantastic mobile cover, especially I can put the logos on that skin of the cover, and it's a really on the brand color, which, many of you know, like I love the sort of a V's color on that yellowish. Try to search everywhere, couldn't find. Anyway, long story short, I ordered that order and just been waiting. Okay, look, and desperately waiting for that, and so that I can, it is pretty much I can use in my mobiles and number of the gadgets, and if that's worked well, then obviously we can have that for our team as well. Then anyway, I probably about November last year, I put the order through, and it's been about four weeks, didn't get anything, haven't heard anything, no confirmation as of yet. So it was not through Amazon or anything, it was just directly from the website, e-commerce website. Nothing. So I try to go on the websites, then after 3-4 weeks, nothing, even check the junk email, nothing. And then I start, sending the information, filling the forms, obviously, so that's sometimes a tricky part. That a chatbot just said, oh, look, this is your ticket. I said, okay, so there's no human connection, and did a bit of research. It found that it is somewhere in Canada, and the shipping coming from China. Anyway, nothing came along 3, 4, 5 months, and then, I thought, look, I just forget it, even though it was a costly, that scheme, but I just thought I'll just forget it. And then it was just a couple of weeks ago, I received this beautiful pack. I don't want to mention their name or anything here, but the point here is, look at here. This is fantastic. I mean, what I received is this, beautiful skin. I just loved it. The packaging. In fact, I must say, I have never seen this sort of packaging ever just for the mobile skin. This is like world class, right? The cover, you clean your mobile, you have the skins, beautiful skins, and I can now add my logos. Obviously, it's been almost 6 months I have to wait for this. Now, what do you think? Do you think that I would be recommending to my friends and colleagues? What do you think? I'm curious to know. I just write down, would you, if you are in my position, would you recommend to your friends or families or your colleagues? Perhaps you wouldn't, because the name of the game is speed. After 6 months, obviously, I don't know how many covers I have changed here in the last 6 months. So the point I'm trying to say is you gotta maintain that speed, right? You gotta maintain that speed, and most likely the trust is built in with the reliability, with the credibility, and obviously with the speed. So if you're not delivering that speed, my friend, it's going to be very, very hard, especially COVID or post-COVID. It's going to be very hard. So, and that's where we hear from some of the business leaders or some of the bigger marketplace like Amazon. I'm not sure whether you know, Amazon spent just a couple of months ago, they spent a whole over $2 billion. They spent from 48 hours delivery to a 24 hours delivery from Prime. So that's where the market is heading. So for a small business like us, obviously, if you're watching this, then what is the lesson is you got to maintain that speed. You got to be in the game to attract, to convert, and nurture. So when the clients, you get back to you, when the clients ask you, you got to maintain that with urgency. This is actually a non-negotiable, especially now during the COVID and post-COVID. So one is a speed.